What is going on, community? It is TJ, aka Flash by Night, and we are back here with the re-up. Of course, the re-up is where I bring my new comic book day haul and any other comic books I may have found throughout the week, and I bring it and I share it with you, the community. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at a few new comic book day books. We are going to look at some mail I got from eBay. And last but not least, or actually in the middle, we are going to look at a book that got released today that you need to know about and you need to be aware of, not just to pick it up, but to make sure you don't pick it up at the wrong time, at the wrong price. I think we all know what I'm getting at. But we are going to start off with the new comic book day books I got. And to tell you the truth, we have a light reading week. I only have 3 new books to read this comic book day, new comic book day. And the first book I have, of course, it's going to be here. It's always going to be here. I think it's like a 5-part miniseries, and I'm down for all 5. Me Grimlock, no bozo, me King. And we have King Grimlock issue number 2 of 5 from IDW. Of course, you got Grimlock, who magically got sucked away from, I'm assuming, Cybertron to some fantasy land with magicians and monsters and forest woodland animals and things of that nature. And they are looking at Grimlock to be the hero because some golden tyrant basically has taken over and they need a hero. They wanted Optimus Prime, but Grimlock is who they got, and Grimlock is who I went and got also. So King Grimlock number 2, number 1 was good. We're gonna check it out. Next book I have from AWA is Telepaths number 1. So I've been checking out a lot of these AWA books that are from the Resistance universe, because they're building a kind of universe in their books. I got the full Erratic miniseries. I checked out Moths number 1 and it was good, but I'm not sure if it was up my alley. And now I'm checking out Telepaths number 1, which is supposed to be a story about how some event happened, some kind of event happened, and 10% of the world ended up with telepathic powers. And apparently the government has come up with a way to, round people up, tone people down or whatever, and one person is supposed to stand up against whatever kind of oppression is going on between the government and the newly telepathic people. That's how I understand the synopsis. If I'm wrong, we'll see. When I read it, I'll tell you exactly, well, not exactly what happened, but exactly what I thought and if I was wrong. But Telepaths number 1, another AWA number 1 from the Resistance universe. And yeah, we're here to check it out. The next book I have to read, and this book is the main book I wanted this week to read. It is unfortunately not Layla Starr. I may go back and check that out and trade. It is not Geiger, which I also have to go back and check out and trade. But Dark Ages issue number 1, written by Tom Taylor. Of course, Tom Taylor being well known in the comic book community, writing an Elseworlds story, because it had to be an Elseworlds story, right? You can't, like, we all know Tom Taylor, right? You know, you all love Nightwing. I still have to catch up. Shout out to Mayor Justin at No Good Comics. But you all know Nightwing. I know 7 Secrets, love 7 Secrets. I think we're all feeling our way around Superman, Son of Kal-El, all these Tom Taylor books. But you know, if you know Tom Taylor, you cannot give him an event in your main line of publishing because he's Tom Taylor. Like, there's destruction and apocalypse going going on everywhere around Tom Taylor when he writes these Elseworlds event stories, such as Injustice and Deceased at DC. So he's got one going on at Marvel called Dark Ages, where basically the lights go out on all the heroes and the Earth period, and you have the family of spiders, you got the Fantastic Four, all the heroes of New York, I assume heroes coming from other places too, who are going to, at least at first, fail to stop the Dark Ages. So this is Dark Ages #1. I've also heard that there are maybe no tie-ins to this event, which is good, because I don't want to have to go and find auxiliary information in other books outside of the main line. Like, some people like that kind of thing. I'm frugal. I don't like that kind of thing. But Dark Ages #1 should be a good story. It's a Tom Taylor story, and we're going to, of course, check it out. The next book I have is the second printing of Moon Knight #1 by Mckay. Of course, starting Moon Knight's Midnight Mission. If you are following this channel, you know that I'm all over this. I was ecstatic when they announced a new Moon Knight book, and Mckay's first 2 issues have not let me down, and I'm looking forward to the rest. But the second printing came out, and I had to at least get 1 copy of the second printing. The next book I have 2 copies of, and this is the book we're going to discuss. I have 2 copies of Ultimate Fallout 4, issue #1, the facsimile. Now, the reason why we have to talk about this is because, unlike a lot of other facsimile books, let's take Werewolf by Night 32, which is the first appearance of Moon Knight, which we're going to reference again in a few minutes. But unlike most of them, this book is already fairly new. So when we're looking at this, let's say a Werewolf by Night 32, it's got, I think, a 25-cent, maybe 50-cent price. I think it's 25 cents. But the facsimile edition has the $3.99 price on it. You can tell really easily. Well, Ultimate Fallout 4 had the same price, because it's only 10 years old, had the same price as the original. And so this looks really, really close to the original first print of Ultimate Fallout 4. And I don't want anybody in this community, anybody at all in the sound of my voice who sees this video, to fall for the okie doke when one of these comes up and the price shoots up to 100, 200, 300, so on and so forth, and fall for, for the trick, because there will be tricks. I'm sorry. People are people. So this is what we're going to do. I am going to take out my Ultimate Fallout. I don't have a first print of Ultimate Fallout 4, but I do have a second print. Don't mind the yellow label. Don't mind the grade on it. But we have some examples of what you can look for, because they're kind of similar. I think up here on the first print of Ultimate Fallout 4, there is Marvel, but it's just Marvel in white on the black background. It's not on the second print, but it is on the first print. But if you look at this facsimile, you have got Marvel written in the kind of Marvel red banner right there. So that's your first difference. Your second difference, if you look at the barcode here, the barcode is just a little bit off of the spine of the book. There's a little bit of room between the edge of the book and the barcode. Now, when you look at this barcode is at the edge of the book. You can see the barcode here kind of covers up a little bit more of Cap's shield than this one does. And you see that little gap of room right there that is not on the facsimile edition. So those are your 2 main differences between this book, which is the second print, not the first print, but the main differences between this book and the facsimile edition. So we are going to move along and get to my eBay mail call. Breaking news. The eBay sale that I thought was the eBay sale is not an eBay sale. It's actually a sale from Facebook. And it's kind of the same story I've been telling, is that, I know a couple of eBay sellers, I know a couple of Facebook sellers who, whenever they have extra inventory around, they may drop their prices by $1 or $2. And being me, if the dollars drop, the dollars make sense. And so I picked up a few books from this eBay seller, and I'm going to show them to you. So the first book that I picked up from this seller, because I'd already been talking about this book earlier, is Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 1. Now I have a couple of copies of the A cover, and I have one copy of the B cover, where John is flying Damian around because he's Damian. He's got his arms folded because he has an attitude. But that's neither here nor there. What I really wanted, but I could not get a hold of, was this beautiful C cover. I believe cardstock, which I'm scared to touch DC's cardstock covers, but I believe it is cardstock, and this is a nice cover of John. So that was, I think, $2 maybe. And on the other side, I have a $1 book. He's also running short on bags and boards, I think, like the rest of the country. So he kind of doubled them up for me. But he asked before doing it, I said it was okay. But the other book I have is Green Lantern number 4. Now, I don't have Green Lantern number 2 or 3, so I'm going to have to pick those up. But this Green Lantern run I have on good authority is a pretty good run. It's rough in a couple of spots, but I've heard it's pretty good, and I think I should catch up. The next book I have, in fact, I have 2 copies, and they were $1 a piece, and I bought them. I bought one copy already, but I wanted 2 more because they were $1 a piece, and it is Batman Secret Files, The Signal, issue number 1. 1 and 2. I'm here waiting. DC, look at me. I need more Signal. I see you're putting out plenty of Robin content, which is well deserved. Damian is deserving of his spotlight. Jason Todd, deserving of his spotlight. Dick Grayson, deserving of his spotlight. Come on, give Duke Thomas some love, DC. Help a brother out. I will grab it when I see it. In fact, a couple of the upcoming Batman Urban Files, I think that's the name of the series, I think around the issues 8 or 9 are going to have Duke Thomas centric stories in them. I might pick those up too, even though I'm kind of leaning against picking up anthology books where I only want to read one story because it's a little bit much, but they're Duke Thomas stories, so I may have to break down and get them. The next book I have, Skybound X, issue number 4. And of course I bought the Skybound X issue number 4, not because of the Rick Grimes 2000. I know I'm going to hear it for this, but I don't know anything about The Walking Dead. The fact that I know that name from The Walking Dead is surprising. But we have an excellent story in here also. So for those who don't know, the Skybound X books are basically anthology books, which I just talked about. And I just said that I'm not into overpaying for an anthology book where I only want to read one story. But this only cost me $2. And like I said, it's got an excellent story in there I want to check out. I'm assuming this may be a new character. I'm not sure, but we'll check it out and see. And on the back of there, for I think either $1 or $2, Shang-Chi issue number 3 with the Peach Momoko cover. Now, I don't think this Peach Momoko Shang-Chi number 3 is as good as the one she did for number 2, but he had it on sale. I wanted to check out Shang-Chi number 3. I haven't gotten deep into the series yet. I have a number 1 on the way from somewhere, or some buyer out in the atmosphere, out on the internet. I have a number 1 with, and I have to get it shipped here. But I read number 2. I thought the story was okay, and I figured I'd pick up number 3. And you know, if number 3 is good, then we'll go ahead with the series. But I really did like this cover, not as much as number 2, but this is okay too. And I think the last book I have for New Comic Book Day / mail call, whatever you want to call it, the re-up, we'll do that, is Skybound X, issue number 4. Of course, with the excellent story I'm looking for. And of course, again, it was like $2. So that was great for me. And that was it for the re-up. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. I hope that my little tutorial did somebody some good. But if you enjoyed yourself, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me picking up comics, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And always feel free to leave comments. But as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.